Hey guys, Genevieve here to record our upcoming full moon in Libra video, and this is going to be happening Wednesday night around 10:15 p.m. Eastern time. Before I get into that, you might notice something a little different. I'm usually recording my videos from the confines of my office, but as you can see, I am outside today because I am decided it's such a gorgeous day. I want to soak in some of this warm, positive Aries sun. I get some vitamin D, help again feel a little bit better, kick some of this whatever out of my system, and also just enjoy the warm spring afternoon. So lucky you, you don't have to stare at a zodiac wheel, and in the back of my head you can look at pretty clouds and sunshine instead. It is rather warm though, so I'm actually going to take this off while we jump right in. So now the body parts that are associated with this full moon, and it's a little windy here too, so if things start blowing away, I apologize, but is our kidney, bladder, urinary tract, veins, and skin. So basically our eliminatory systems in the body that help kind of just drain and get toxins out, as well as protect ourselves from the toxins, right? The elements, we have 7 aspects to fire signs, 9 to air, 5 to earth, and 6 to water. So it's going to feel pretty balanced. It's actually going to feel a little bit more airy with that Libra moon. And it's not really busy. Now, as always, I'm going to share the charts in the comments below, the link when I share it, so you can actually see what the charts look like, the impact chart as well as the actual full moon chart. But like I said, it's not really busy, so there's a lot of support for just focusing on what we need to focus on under this, okay? So we have got the sun, of course, in Aries, the moon is in Libra, Mercury is in Pisces, Venus is in Taurus, Mars is in Pisces, Jupiter is in Cancer, Saturn is in Aries, Uranus is in Taurus, Neptune is in Aries, and Pluto is in Aquarius. And for the first time in a little while, all of the planets are direct now, okay? So we know what that means. Nothing should feel like we're once again having to go over some old territory. It's going to feel like new beginnings, which should be very overall refreshing to all of us. So with the sun in Aries, let's jump right in. Spring has arrived, guys. Okay, this placement gives us energy, drive, passion, and courage. They are hallmarks of the Aries season and Aries energy, right? So friendly competition is highlighted, physical activity, doing and not planning. We've been planning for months now what we want to do once the year got started. Well, it started. Sometimes this brings impulsive energy, impatient energy, but Aries is the usher of new beginnings, and so that's what we all should be starting to feel under this Aries season. Now, of course, a full moon is in opposition to the sun, so that is the strongest opposition in this chart, though. And again, with this combination, Aries and Libra both being cardinal signs, it feels very balanced. It feels calm, it feels graceful, it feels where there is tension, we can gracefully harmonize it and balance it under the Libra full moon. Now, I said that magic word Cardinal. That is my full moon Libra blend. It's called Cardinal. It's one of the only 2 that I make that I use the dragon's blood resin in it. So it does tend to look a reddish pink in the oil form and in the candle as well. And it's, this full moon is also known as the pink moon, so it kind of fits, right? So this energy, this is all about finding balance between our emotion and our needs, right? So Libra is all about harmony and balance. So when it's in opposition, there is a kind of a feeling of temperance to all activity that's going on. A little bit of cautiousness, but not overly so, just in a way that feels graceful and supportive. But as always, under any full or new moon, take time to rest, diffuse my Cardinal blend, this is a great time to charge your crystals as well. This energy is mostly very, very good under this full moon. Now, there is a square with Jupiter and Cancer. This is a minor challenge. Jupiter and Cancer wants us to slow and ground, or wants to slow and ground Aries energy and bring practicality, which may dampen some of the exuberance and celebratory gatherings that this full moon brings. So we want to stay optimistic but realistic, and that kind of is the challenge with this square. The moon is also conjunct Saturn. And with both Saturn and the sun in Aries, this gives us drive, resilience, and discipline to channel our extra energy and passion responsibly, okay? Saturn always wants us to be responsible. Now, it is sextile the ascendant, so we're only presenting ourselves kind of in a polished and balanced way at this time, right? This is what we're kind of thinking about, how to present ourselves in the most calming, pleasing, polished way. Now, with the moon in Libra, we are seeking relationships that feel safe, balanced, and valued. So it's definitely an easygoing, reaffirming energy. This is going to highlight our social lives. Music and artistic and creative events and projects and outings are highlighted. All right. Now, the moon is also square Jupiter. This is another minor challenge. We might feel overwhelmed by emotions or seek validation externally. So caution against that. Ground yourself again in your creative and artistic activities to express and balance your emotions at this time. It's a great time to start planning flowers or even working on home decoration products if you're not quite ready to get out there and dig in the dirt yet. Taurus season is a good time for that. Earth. But if you're anything like me and feeling cooped up the way I have lately, I am very eager to get out and get started on these outdoor projects, but the way I've been feeling, I might still want to give it another week or two before I really totally get going. So then we have another minor challenge coming up here with the moon opposite Saturn. So we might fluctuate between wanting close bonds and withdrawing emotionally for self-protection. So we can be both strong and vulnerable with the right people under this. Emotional wisdom and insight can come through meditation and self-care practices, guys. Just take care of yourself. Take it easy. Again, full moons tend to be exhausting for a lot of us, but it's a good time also to emotionally kind of go inside and reflect and meditate. Now, the moon is trine Pluto. This is a minor positive influence. We are supporting and holding space for others emotionally at this time. We're feeling everything intensely, but we're channeling it positively. Again, through those projects, creativity. There's a great potential here to help heal others by sharing our own inspiring stories of emotional journeys to healing for ourselves. There's a courageous vulnerability about this, okay? And that might sound contradictory, but we are expressing our vulnerability in courageous ways in order to inspire others at this time. Now, the moon is also trine the ascendant, so we're flexible and able to navigate unexpected change gracefully, because there will be some, there always is. Now, Mercury is in Pisces, so communication is direct in Pisces now. Like I said, all the planets are direct. They're not retrograde anymore. So this helps us to communicate with compassion and empathy. So again, creative, spiritual, or healing careers are highlighted. Imagination, intuition guide us to make wise decisions at this time. There's a minor good aspect here with the Mercury trine Jupiter. So we're feeling optimistic, generous, and wanting to be of service. Traveling, continuing education, and adult learning is highlighted under this. Now, Venus is in Taurus. Sorry, guys, I'm going to be pausing a lot to sip my water. So with Venus and Taurus, this energy feels luxurious, sensual, comfortable, and secure. So we're enjoying small indulgences at home. It helps us feel nurtured and supported, right? Acts of service and gifts are the love language of this placement. So cook a meal or make a gift for your loved ones, your friends, your close family members, and most importantly, spend quality time together with our loved ones. That is how we're all going to feel our best emotionally secure and supported. Now, Venus is square Pluto, so this can bring on intense feelings and desires. They're going to come to the forefront. Sometimes can stir up suspicions or jealousies in some. So we want to channel that into creative endeavors or physical activity. Now, with Mars and Pisces, this is, again, it's been there for a while. This is indirect action driven by our dreams and intuition and compassionate energy. This is our drive at this time, not that so forward think, like direct, erratic, extra physical activity. So we want to channel that into community prospects or projects, right? But there really aren't any aspects to Mars in this full moon, so we're just going to leave Mars right there. Jupiter is in Cancer, so Jupiter and Cancer energy is where we find our joy and purpose in being helpful to others. But we do want to continue to guard against being too sensitive, too giving, and too people-pleasing, okay? We already talked about the aspects to Jupiter. Now, with Saturn in Aries, we might struggle to assert ourselves or may feel pushed to do so when we're really not ready or we really don't want to. This placement actually highlights political ambitions, and also we might feel like we're suppressing some of the more exciting side of our personalities at this time for the purpose of career or political gains, okay? And which, it's not a bad thing to kind of to try to conform a little bit for your work, for your career, to put your best foot forward, and that's what this energy is. But again, that also might feel a little stifling to some of us. Now, Saturn is conjunct Neptune, so we're balancing the need to follow and express our visions and creativity and how to communicate them clearly and incorporate them practically. So there is a little challenge in finding that balance. So our most major positive, highly favored aspect of this full moon is Saturn sextile Pluto. This is leading to ambition. This is combining responsible and ethical leadership, again, highlighting community organizing or political roles, okay? So this is a good time to get involved or get started in something like that if that interests you. Now, Uranus is in Taurus. Again, this is going to be there for a while, but this is where our literal foundations can feel shaken up, right? We desire a stable life and home, but we are feeling pulled by inevitable change beyond our control. So we need to learn to be resourceful and adapt to sudden disruptions in systems that we basically taken for granted, whatever that may be, whether that is financial systems, whether that is medical practices, whether that is even political systems. Like, it's all being changed. It's all disrupted now, and that can be a little unsettling for some, but we are best going to navigate this by just learning to be very flexible and learning to adapt. Now, Uranus is sextile Neptune. This is a positive supporting aspect as well. This highlights necessary changes in how we interact with the world around us, okay? Bold new ideas get support here, especially when we can express purpose clearly and maturely, right? Aries energy is usually very young, very excitable, very in your face, wanting to just force it. But with these supports for a little bit more mature, wise approach to things is how we're really going to get things done. All right. Excuse me. Neptune in Aries. Again, this is going to be there for a while. So we want to watch for attaching to misguided crusades or overzealousness at this time, okay? And spiritual impulsivity, okay? Just listen to that and take that in a little bit, what that means. This is an ongoing theme. Just do it, but don't overdo it, and be careful of our need to get involved, confusing us about what the right things to get involved in are. Now Neptune is sextile Pluto. This is another long-lasting positive support. We're feeling especially perceptive and sensitive to others' pain, and we feel called to help heal and bring peace and calm to any situations where we see conflict. And lastly, of course, Pluto's in Aquarius, will be for a long time. We've talked about this, but many are feeling the need right now to transform the collective and our personal selves through spiritual rebirth, progressive innovation ideas, and even rebellion. Okay, getting involved in the community is an act of love towards humanity, right? If you feel helpless, if you feel like there's just so much going on that's beyond our control, so much negativity, take the small step to get involved locally, small. And that is a real act of love. And now Pluto is conjunct the ascendant, so this is also highlighting themes of regeneration, resilience. We want to try to stay aware, though, of how we impact others, good, bad, or indifferent. A lot of people might feel that they are not noticed, their efforts go unnoticed, or that nobody really pays attention or cares about them. But realize that you do. People do pay attention. People do notice what you're putting out, what you're contributing, even if you're not loud about it, even if you're not making as big of an impact as you think you are, you're still making an impact, guys. All right, so that's it. That's what I've got. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Thanks again for continuing to bear with me with all my nasally sinus stuff going on. But yeah, so Wednesday night, be sure to diffuse my Cardinal blend, and if you don't have it, contact me for it. Be sure to charge your crystals. Great time to get involved in some art projects, or even, like I said, some nurturing self, or loving kind of creativity towards your friends and loved ones, whether it's cooking a meal together, whether it's creating a piece of art together. But just spend that quality time, take care of yourself, rest, of course, practice self-love and self-care. And then, as you know, right after this full moon, it is Easter weekend, guys. So I hope you have a great rest of your week. Till next time.